Hi everyone, thank you so much for being with me today. I'm really excited because I'm going to do a diptych and I'm going to probably just use green tones. I think it's all about the green at the moment for me. I love the green colour. There are so many different tones that are available, and of course we can make our own, can't we? So I'm excited for this one. Let's see what we can create. Okay, so I said I was going to do a diptych. So 2 canvases, 2 panels. These measure 20 inches by 8 inches each. I'm going to go all green and I'm going to add a splash of gold. I'll list all my paints in my description. Let's do this. Okay, so here are my colours. So the base colours are going to be an olive green deep colour by Amsterdam and an emerald green colour by Amsterdam. And then I'm also going to use the light gold by Amsterdam and brilliant green by Amsterdam, and also a pale olive, and that's by Winsor and Newton, and a pearl pastel green, this one, which is by Arteza. So I really like this colour palette. Let's see how it works out. Okay, so you'll see that I've painted my sides. I tend to always paint my sides just to make sure that I've got good coverage, but you can also just touch them up afterwards. So I'm laying the base colours down first, and then what I'll do is I will take my hairdryer and blow the paint across the canvases just to get the coverage. And at that stage I just want to make sure that I haven't got any air bubbles or any lumps in that paint, and then we just take it from there. Okay, so here we go. Going to blow out the greens. I absolutely love the green colour. I think it's understated and not used as much as it could be. But I hope you're going to like this complete green piece. Obviously, I said that I'm going to add a touch of gold. But as I'm blowing out the paint on the base, I'm just making sure that I've got good coverage, and I'm also making sure that I haven't got puddles of paint at each end. You know, I want the puddles of paint in the middle, so when I blow the paint out, there's enough paint there to help it flow and help it travel across the canvas and create that piece and create that pattern. So yeah, I'm just getting the coverage, and then once I've done the coverage and I've blown it out, I just check my sides just to make sure it's covered. I have painted them this time, so you know that's a bonus. But it's at this point when I'm blowing out the paint, I just see if there's any kind of lumps or anything in the paint that shouldn't be there. Because with the green, when it dries, it'll be easily seen if there is kind of a piece of grit or a block of paint in there. So nearly finished now. Just wanting to cover this base. I love these greens. What do you think? Have you worked with greens yourself before? Is it a colour that you love, or is it a colour that you hate? We're all different, so you know that's a good thing. All of our tastes are different. Okay, so I'm going to now start layering the other colours in the middle. I'm going to use this brilliant green first, and just cover that all in the middle. Look at the difference in the colours of green there. I love this. I love these. Okay, so my gold just going across. I just want to make sure there's enough paint. I don't want to put too much paint on there, but what I'm doing is I'm gonna blow them out each end. So I want to make sure that there is enough paint. This is the pale olive. I really love the contrast of these green, and I'm trying to, you know, when I'm layering them, I'm just trying to imagine what kind of tone, what kind of contrast it's going to be like when it's blown out. I think I've definitely chosen the right tone green for the base colours. So you'll see here, I'm just adding some more more paint to the base colour. So when I blow the colours over in the middle for the Dutch pour and then blow them out again, there's enough paint on the canvas that will help that paint flow when it's blown, because if there's not enough flow to the paint, it won't really go anywhere, and then I'll just get a block of colour in one place. So, okay, I'm nearly there. I'm just adding a little bit more of those greens just over those lighter colours, and I think I'm nearly ready. Little bit more gold. Can never have too much gold, because I'm just thinking a bit more gold because of the darker base colour on each end. Okay, let's blow this out and see what happens. I'm excited. Here we go. So for the purposes of the video, I have obviously muted the drier sound and talking over the original sound, because I just think it's nicer for you as a viewer to let that happen. Now, I've just blown the colours over each other, and some of the cells that you can see here, wow, they're already forming. When it gets like this, I sometimes don't want to blow it out further, because they've created some really good cells. I'm just going to get rid of some of the air bubbles, and also using the torch can help create other cells as well. So I'm just going over the middle of these pieces with my torch. Wow, some of these cells that are already forming are amazing. I'll take you in for a closer look shortly. Okay, let's blow this out. That gold's just kind of shining through. I love the darker green I've got on one end and the lighter green on the other. Well, these colours are I'm so pleased I put that dash of gold in, because it's really making a difference. Wow, look at these. I don't know if you can see the lacing and the cells from there. I'll obviously show you in a second with a close-up, but I'm really, really happy with this colour palette. I'd love to see if you give it a go as well. Tag me in your pictures, because I also love to see what you create. These greens are so vibrant, actually. And what I've got to remember is the darker green on the end that you see, I just hope it doesn't dry too dark, because obviously some paints, when they dry, they will be a completely different colour to what you see when they're wet. So that's something that I always bear in mind when I'm creating a colour palette. Sometimes the paint itself will not remain that same colour. Oh, I really, really like these two pieces. I'm hoping that they're going to stay exactly like this when they're drying. They should do. I do have a flat surface. Wow, I'm loving this. I'm just gonna look and just take it in and make sure that the design itself is good. And I just want to make sure that I haven't got too much of a puddle of paint left, because as the paint's dry, I don't want them to crack. And sometimes that can happen if there's a puddle of paint there that isn't properly blown out. And let's take you in for a closer look at this wet version. Look at those colours. And look at that lacing and those cells. I'm so pleased I put that gold in. It kind of just, I don't know, it just kind of ignites that piece. And all those different green tones, I think this colour palette really works well together. What do you think? I'd really love to hear what you think about this design, the approach that I've taken, the technique that I've used, and the colour palette that I came up with. I'd love to know what you think. So drop me a note in the comments below. I do get asked all the time about the drips on the sides and how that affects the piece. So I do scrape them off, because otherwise, because it's wet, the paint is wet, it will drag the design off the canvas down the side. So it's really important to remove those drips at the side, otherwise that will ruin your design because the paint will still be travelling. Okay, so here is the dried version. I'm so proud to say that the design stayed exactly how I wanted it and how I left it when it was wet. So it dried perfectly in my opinion. I'm so pleased with the different kind of greens that I've used. I'm so happy, so happy with this diptych. It's turned out really well. I'm a big fan of green. I think this is a gorgeous piece and I'm really proud of it. What do you think, guys? Let me know in the comments below. It'd be so great to hear from you. Just take you into some close-ups of these cells and this lacing. Thanks so much for joining me. I really appreciate your support and I hope you have a great week. Take care. Bye.